You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's
But
real slow.
but I think that that is like an important distinction because so much of American history has portrayed us as the victor and not the villain. And it's like, actually, I checked your work, and like most of these answers are wrong. Like, this is not an accurate portrayal of the reality of American history. And it might make you feel good to believe that this is true, or that like this part of the narrative is not important, but you can't build a country on stolen land with stolen people and be like,
This
but
is
we beat the British.
yeah, no.
Yeah, and like, and also so much because I think that's the thing in quarantine, well, before quarantine, but I had a lot more time to do it in quarantine. There's so much reading, like specifically about the history of these things, like to better explain um why I said what I said, and
Damn it.
just right. And so like to really like point those things out because I think I was surprised at how many people appeared to be genuinely surprised about what was happening in this country. Because I was like, wait, are we not like, we're all sitting in the same theater watching the same movie. And my seat got gum on it, it's popcorn under it. Somebody spilled their drink here before I sat down, and you're telling me that this movie is great and we watching Birth of a Nation? Not the second one? Like, no, no, thank you. And so
Well,
I
that's
think,
what being in quarantine too is making everybody stop and see everything. And all over the country saw what was going on, which
It
usually
was.
doesn't happen. They're like, oh, that happens to them. Oh, why are Black people so angry? Why are they going to do this? Everybody, it was like, oh
or
my
if you would
God,
have complied.
the world was on a standstill. So we had to see it. So that's why it was a change also.
I always say this, and when me and the homies get together, and we talk about when we were younger. Almost every movie during my formative years had a police scene in it. Menace to Society, House Party. It's somewhere along the line we're getting pressed by the police in some of our favorite movies. And so for the
Yeah.
director or the writer, the screenwriter to want to put that in the movie means it
That's a
was
You
choice.
can't do
trend.
this experience without this one.
Yeah.
It's Living Black.
Yeah.
House Party. It's a comedy. And they still
Yeah.
found a way to
Always
put
in
that
there.
in.
Cops always coming.
Hey, Eraserhead. That's what the cop said to him, yo. You know what I'm saying? So it's been going on forever. And that's just, during my little time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And Menace to Society, one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, that was a good
He
one.
could beat Kane and his buddy up and took him to a bad neighborhood thinking they was going to get hurt worse.
Mm-hmm.
And then the people that he thought was the villain took him to the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been throughout. It's been documented. It's been talked about. These people, and let's really call them what they are. These racist people are not, they're delusional.
Yeah.
Empires fall because of this, because you don't want to talk, because you don't want to negotiate, because you don't want to wake up. I know it's tough to look in the mirror and see the wrongs that have been done. Because I'm sure, come on, guys, we know that they sit around and they might not have been saying the joke, but they listened to the joke and laughed at the joke.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Because I
saying?
think it does issue a challenge because I know in a lot of conversations I've had with people that I didn't know that may have approached me at a march or approached me in the store or approached me because I live in an area where everybody doesn't look like me. But, there are people who look like me here, but like there's a lot. And so a lot of the times when I went to show up to do things, I was in the minority in, in that environment. And so when people ask questions, it's like, yeah, but see, we're out here and we're marching, but it's not us. Like, I can't fix the way that you raise your child. I can't fix the things that your grandfather, your child's grandfather can sit at the dinner table and talk funky, and nobody is like, excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Right? You're not getting checked. You're not
Right.
getting checked. Somebody needs to check them.
And it's like, just like you were saying, like the kids can see and hear that. So if you see and hear that, and there's no one checks it, no one says, hey, this is not cool, or it's inappropriate, then your kid also heard it and watched you not check it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you're stamping it. That's giving.
Yeah, that's your stamp of
do
approval.
what you do. They're gonna do your actions. They're gonna listen to you and talk.
Whether you like it or not.
And that's one more movie, Do the Right Thing. His favorite player was Michael Jordan. His favorite singer was Michael Jackson.
Yes.
But yet you hate us.
Yeah. And I think that's a lot of it now.
Love the culture, but love the people. They love the culture, love to see us dance, sing, play ball, all that, but hate us?
It's not a party if we not there. Real live, yo, come on. I mean, why exclude us? Why not want to have us involved?
But I think that that's part of the issue, is that there are so many environments that like the proximity to it. But it's like, it's like, oh, I love, LeBron James and Beyonce and the list goes on and on and on and on. But it's like, but my daughter's boyfriend,
oh no,
whoever
what?
Can't be this guy. And it's like, well, so make it make sense to me. Like, what is it about these people that you feel like there is a reasoning and an understanding for your love and admiration for them, but the next door neighbor's kid that looks just like them is not welcome in your home?
Yeah.
Make it make sense, because it doesn't. It doesn't.
And let me segue right into that. So now let's talk about the nepotism that goes on, right? So now, like, you're in charge and you're racist, right? So you're actually like a dream killer, because it might have been guys that want to be police officers or photographers or wanted to work for your paper, and they got there and couldn't even get an inch.
Nope.
Dream killers. Or you went to the Marines, or because you wanted to serve your country. You might have watched the movie and thought that dude was awesome. You know what I'm saying?
Presidents.
And so you get there and somebody stomping your dreams out because of their hang-ups.
Yeah.
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 You know what I'm saying? So, it's deep.
And so much of an intentional, indoctrination in this country, that the better that I'm doing, the more of a challenge it is to what it looks like in your day-to-day life. Like, if somehow I am on equal footing with you, then you lose something. And it was like,
they really do feel they lose something if we exceed or excel. They lose something. They don't even know what. They don't.
And I think that it's the uncertainty.
You can't even explain it. Yeah.
It's that fear of uncertainty. If I wake up every day in the skin that I'm in, and the narrative surrounding the skin that I'm in says I'm better than everybody else, and that has been true for me every day for my life, and then I find out that it's actually not true, and it's a large part of who I believe I am, I'm gonna fight it tooth and nail. And it's like, but that makes you the villain. I hate to break it to you, like, this is not a hero story. You are not the protagonist.
Yeah.
And that changes everything. But again, I want to go back into competition. That's all we want, is the opportunity. We never asked for a handout. All we said, we want everything to be fair, square, and the best person, woman.
You could do it.
I'm a feminist. I'm like, I don't care who it is. I just want to compete, and whoever wins, wins.
Yeah. And I saw, they said, like, I can't remember what I was watching, but they did a race based on the way that things actually work in this country. And it's like, a 100-yard dash, and you're giving this person a 40-yard head start or a 70-yard head start just because they were born in white skin. And then you win the race, and you're like looking around at everybody trying to figure out why they ran so slow. And it was like, you only had to run 30 yards. And so, like, I don't mind racing you. If even
it's fair.
And that's the thing. I think sometimes people don't even realize that it's happening. And so, like,
but the first thing they would say is, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Do that. But you systematically made sure that I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
There's only shoes at the 70-yard line.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yo. What are you talking about?
And I appreciate, like, when people actually get it and actually have an understanding and awareness that it's not fair. Because that's what, my husband will be the first person to say, part of the reason why people are comfortable about certain things with me is because I'm white.
Big facts.
You know that. And I'm like, I love the fact that you have an awareness of that, because, like, a lot of times in situations where discomfort happens with me is because I'm Black. Because that's some things that have happened to me as a parent have never happened to my husband.
Big facts.
Because I'm like, the number of times, especially when she was little, the number of times that people were like, ma'am, can you explain who this baby belongs to? Can you just bring up my groceries, please?
Yeah, you told me so many times that would happen to you. And individuals, with a lot of older ones too, right?
Yeah.
A lot of older ones be like, and this look at you like this is not.
I told you that lady stopped me in Costco and asked me if my baby was a half and half. I'm like, does she look like milk to you? Does she look like coffee creamer? Like, what do you mean is she a half and half? Half of what? Half of one human being and half of another? Like,
I don't want to curse, but I'm like,
so funny.
Don't ask me no question.
I saw, oh my God, it was a show that I saw, some show on Showtime, and someone said, white lady, half and halves, they're so pretty. Those half and halves, because the girl was having, she was white, and she was having, I think the man was Dominican or something like that, and she was having the baby. And they were showing different people talking about, oh, you shouldn't have the baby, you shouldn't have the baby. She goes, oh, a half and half? Oh, yeah. Oh, have it. Oh,
that's what the lady told me. We have so many half and halves at my church. They are so beautiful. I love them so much.
That's exactly what they said.
And I was like,
that's exactly what she said on. And I was up late looking at the
baby a half and half.
Yes. And they wrote it in the script, so that means a lot of people are saying it.
Yeah, huh? And sometimes I got time for it, and sometimes I don't. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes, you might get this, and then sometimes.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah.
But I used to come home and be like, pew, pew. Yeah. And my husband would be like, don't worry about those people. And I was like, hold up, wait a minute, you don't get. He was like, ma'am, I'm on your team. I'm here, and I love you. What they did was wrong, but I'm gonna need you to not give me that smoke. And I was like, oh yeah, that's right. We are on the same team. We are in this together. And
it's hard.
I just want to drop kick the people in the store who keep asking me about, because I literally I went to go get my nails done with my mom and my daughter, and so my daughter was sitting with me while I was getting my nails done. And they were like, oh, is your husband white? I was like, well, that's a great opener. Does it mean I get a discount on my nails?
I get from this.
Like, I don't understand why it's, why, because I'm gonna just start telling people no and then watch them look at me confused.
Like this, and then they'll question, so really?
What are you?
They'll start questioning you. When you say no, they'll be like, I don't know. What? No.
Like, well, no.
Questions to try to figure it out until you tell them something different.
Like, we're all from Africa, so no, actually.
But it's just disappointing that you feel comfortable even asking me those type of questions.
That's the thing. Comfortable to do it. Comfortable to do it.
And I just think that's disappointing. I think it's people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I don't know, have you ever stopped anybody in the grocery store and been like, excuse me, I'd like to request
I would never do
about
that.
Your child's lineage?
Just like I would never touch nobody's hair. It might be a nice hairstyle. I might even say, oh, your hair looks good. Oh, the coloring and whatever. Like if I'm talking to the other.
Or from a distance, be like.
Yes. But I'm not gonna go, oh,
I would not invade your personal space, yo. I would just not even do that, yo.
Woo!
I was trying to explain like what the equivalent for a man would be. And I would be like, when a man stands next to you in a urinal.
Yeah.
No. I was like, if a man stands in like it's open stalls and the man stands in the stall next to you, and then it's like, oh, it's something on your pants and it's brushed off for you.
No.
Look.
Oh, now you feel it.
Because it's such a personal and intimate thing to do, because it's like, wait, and I was like, so if you feel like it would be okay for somebody to do that, then it's fine.
Touch the nerve, Derek.
No, I don't like that. Don't touch me. Do not touch me, especially not in the bathroom, yo. Like, whoa.
But that's why it's such an intimate thing, and especially with our hair specifically, because sometimes depending on what effort and went into, because it might look like a wash and go, but you might have had your hair in twists for 3 days, and it took you all this, and then someone just put their hands in it as a free-for-all, like
It's so much involved. It's so much involved, and the fact that we like relearning how to love our hair and embrace our hair, that this grows out our head and this is how it's supposed to be.
I think
so.
Yes.
Regardless if I put gel in it, don't put gel in it, have cornrows, put a weave. It's and to love that. For someone to question, ask if it's real, touch it to see, oh, why does it look like this? It's what it is, because it's what I am.
Because
you almost questioning my existence, right?
Yeah.
Like, why is your shit like this and my shit is like better than yours? That's what you're saying, right? Your shit is no good. My shit is better. Look at my shit and then look at yours. Ooh.
Yeah, it's always a.
it gives very much science experiment vibes, and so it's immediately like, because that's what I said. I was like, I don't know if there's an equivalent for like a man to immediately understand.
In your bed, somebody coming up to you stroking your bed.
Yeah, but in your thing, depending on who it is or what that, because if a nice young lady came up to you and was like, "Hey, how you doing?" and stroked your beard, you would be like, "Yes." But even
that's wanted though.
But even if a nice young man came up to me, I still don't want him to put his hands in my hair.
But that's man woman thing.
No, but I'm just saying, like, unsolicited, you walk
his hands in my hair.
Unsolicited stranger walk up to you.
No, but nobody that's stranger can touch your hair.
Right.
That's why I said it has to be like a specific, because I think a lot of men would be like, "Oh, she came up and I had a little lint in my beard and she took it out. Like, hey girl, how you doing?" So it's a different
right out. Right.
So it's a different vibe. But that's why I was like, when I was explaining, like, what is something that meets the level of discomfort?
So you could understand the feeling, that feeling.
Yeah, because you feel uncomfortable already because somebody stood in the stall next to you. It's like, if it's 10 of these and you stood, I'm standing in stall 1 and you stood in stall 2, you already in violation. And then you touch me.
And I think this is a great segue into the insurrectors and the terrorists that went into the Capitol, right? So they feel that they can just walk in this building.
They didn't just feel it. They did.
And go into somebody's office and sit in their desk and go through their stuff.
Steal your computer and try to sell it to another country, talking about you a patriot.
Nothing. And then get upset now when they go after them and arresting them. What?
You saw the
No.
The video of them getting pulled off airplanes, put on the no-fly list. I was like, you do know that what you did was like super illegal, and
they do no wrong. I could do
the law was going to come for you.
That's what it is. There's no accountability. There's something that's missing, that you feel like you can touch people. Yes. You can just go into their offices. That you can just do these things.
You want to do.
And also the connection to that, like the connection to history for us, is that people who look like me stood on a trading block, while people examined them for sale, for purchase.
Yep.
And so the idea that during that time, like I go into the store and I see a sweater that I like, I can touch the material, I can read the tag. And you used to do that to people that look like me. Don't touch my material and don't read my tag. Don't, no. Yeah. Like, nah, it's not okay. It is not okay.
Facts though, man. And it was disappointing because, I do live in the DC area. So I'm a mall rat. I like going to the mall and going down to the museums and taking pictures. They were here 3 days before that day. And the way I say this,
vacationing.
Because again, I know what they look like, right? Because I know what tourists look like. And it was too many guys together. And you guys aren't gay because you could tell. You know what I'm saying? It was too many Duck Dynasties. There was too many Santa Claus beards in DC at one time. Something was going on. I don't, and now hearing the information, it sounds like it was all a plan.
Mm-hmm. It was a plan, yeah.
They had tour guides throughout the Capitol and things of that nature, you know what I'm saying? And so again, I think they knew what they were doing. It's disappointing that they were allowed to do those things. Again, it goes back into what we talked about earlier. They don't know they're the bad guys.
But that's like, I've known you for a million years, and I know you used to work Justice Department. And so, like, as a former employee of the Justice Department, like, what is that, seeing that look like? Like, literally.
I'm going to just break it down to, it's somebody at work. Like, what's going on here? Why are you operating like this, coming to somebody's job and throwing shit? And I mean, just what's going on? You couldn't talk about this? This is the first time this has ever happened. So we had Farrakhan here talking to a million men. It wasn't that. We had women come who were upset. These are upset people. Yeah. And some of the conversations and lectures and speeches that we're hearing were upsetting to people. but they didn't want to storm and break stuff. So again, it goes into something's going on. We know it's been going on. It's always been here. Now it's being televised. It's being shown to the world. And so we need to push them back to the fringes where they need to be so we can operate as a country and move forward in life. You know what I'm saying? This is real spill. You know what I'm saying? These guys need to be pushed to the front. They're never going to go anywhere. They're going to always be here. We just need to push them to the fringes again.
Or make it so uncomfortable that you have to shift your ideas, because I think that like the level of comfort that they were able to experience while being insurrectionists. And because, you know, you show up to you watch protesters get arrested on TV, get tear gas, get rubber bullets, beat the brakes off of them for showing up to be like, police brutality is not the jam. Yeah. And it's like, well, wait a minute. We showed up to say you should not beat, harm, and kill people. And y'all attempted to beat, harm, and kill us. And they showed up to beat, harm, and kill people. And y'all was like, okay, so if you're looking for her office, you go up here, you turn this corner.
Right.
It's outrageous.
Something.
Again, I think it's just disappointing that I shouldn't be disappointed though, because I mean they voted Trump in.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be surprised.
So again, he has support. And I'm sure everybody didn't support everything that went on with him. But again, if you're standing next to a Crip, you a Crip right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're standing next to a Blood, you a Blood right now. And so you got to come, you get everything that come with that.
Yeah.
And so I'm all for your First Amendment rights. Yeah, you could call me a nigga, you could call me racist and all that, but it's stuff that comes along with that.
Yeah.
Be ready for that. You know what I'm saying? I think these people don't understand that. You just can't throw that word around and don't think somebody ain't gonna check you one day.
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw the kid, he's not a kid, he's a grown man, and he got dropped by his label and they pulled his, I don't even know his name. They pulled his, I think the only time I've ever seen him before is because he broke the COVID rules and got canceled from doing Saturday Night Live. That's the only thing I know. I'm not familiar with his music, not familiar with him. And it was like, so the last time I saw you in the news, you couldn't get right because of COVID. And now I see you in the news because you don't know what to say out of your mouth, and everybody dropped. But I was like, it's amazing that the swiftness, because I didn't see the video or anything like that, but how quickly he got dropped. They pulled his music from all the radio stations, from the streaming platforms, from all the stuff. And it was like people were saying, oh, he was using it as a term of endearment towards his friends. And it was like, so the beginning of that sentence was he was using it, right?
But again, I think, again, I know the music says this and the culture says this, but you don't say it.
Yeah.
And because you want to say it, it says something about you. You know what's up with this word. Anybody that's over 13 knows what's up with this word, yo. You know what I'm saying? That ain't gonna get put on you. And so you still want to use it anyway. And when we're not around, do what you want. I'm never gonna say that. But if somebody
unless you're on TikTok or Instagram or if you're using it, please know that Snapchat filter is not gonna save you.
No, it's not.
So again, and then again, parts of the cities and countries we aren't, and so they wild reckless, but we not. We already know that because they can't be checked in bubble fuck Arkansas. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, but nowadays they can be, because nowadays you fool around and do something reckless and the internet will be like, this is his name, this is where he works, and then tomorrow it'll be like, oh, so and so is no longer employed with us because, and this people are like, I can't believe that they deactivated Trump's Twitter, and it was like, you mean that insurrectionist builder?
Terrorists.
But I'm very careful about using terrorists, because usually what happens when we have a terrorist problem, then there's a sudden need to over police Black and brown people. And it was like, but the terrorists in this situation are not us. And they're like, oh, no, it's okay. We're protecting you from the terrorists. Yeah, but if you're protecting me from the terrorists by policing me, how is that? Like, it feel like y'all on the same team. Can I see your paperwork?
That's just part of the story, is when they come to your town. They're not showing that they got to stay in these hotels. They got to go to these restaurants. How are they acting when they go there?
Yeah.
They already in a mob. They're already feeling the type of way. You know how mob mentality is. And that's what I'm saying. When they touched down in DC, it was an energy. Yo, I could feel it. It
So
was
you said they were there 2 days before? You said it was 2 days before?
That's what I'm saying, because I'm going down there taking pictures. You know, I'm
and you felt it then?
There was too many Santa Claus, Duck Dynasty bids around.
Wow.
Now, everybody wasn't wearing their colors. Now, see, that's the difference. Everybody wasn't wearing their colors. You know what I'm saying?
Or their work uniforms.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they were definitely touching down early. You know what I'm saying?
But remember, he scheduled a rally for that same day that everything was happening. So most of them were coming for the rally. And so there's people that's like, well, there's a distinction between showing up to go to the rally and being an insurrectionist. And it was like, just like you said before, like, if you showed up to the Capitol and you're saying you had no intention of being involved in, and it's like, yeah, but the instructions that you were given before you headed to the Capitol were clear and specific.
Yeah.
So to say you went to the Capitol to hug people and kumbaya and shake hands is not it.
Mm-hmm.
And now they come and they left and they go home, and then we got a gate around a working building.
Yeah.
A building that we could used to walk up to and take pictures of. It's a historical building, museum type situation, and then we can't even go to.
And I know during like working the inauguration, like everything was so shut down.
Yeah.
So like to keep everybody safe. Because I know people who didn't want to work because they didn't feel comfortable that they would be safe. And I was like,
you didn't know what was going to happen. No one knew.
Because you have no idea. And that was the crazy thing. There were so many National Guard there. And as the news was coming out that the National Guard had people who were involved. And so you looking around like, well, yesterday when I saw y'all, I felt like y'all was here to protect me.
Now it's like.
Now I'd like to know if you were vetted before you came to work today.
Exactly. Oh.
Factual.
This world.
Yes, well, we are not going to take any more of your time because we told you we was going to talk about one thing and we talked about that, but I
love this stuff. I love this. It goes different, and it always does. And you told me this, Cass, because I was like, okay, we're supposed, I'm the very, okay, let's do it like this. Cass like, it'll be fun. And I'm like, no, we have to. And I'm just like, yeah, it'll be fine.
All right, you gotta bring me back. You gotta bring me back for the sex episode. You gotta bring me back for the dating episode. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
You feel me?
Did you see the dating episode? My issues with stuff with.
I need to go back and watch it. Nope.
Okay, go back and watch it, and then we'll have you back, and then I'm gonna tell everyone what happened between me and the guy. So we'll.
So wait. Are you guys open to? You got some more time today?
Yeah.
Well, no, we can keep going now. You know that.
I was gonna say, let's talk. Let's get real. So
you know what happened?
Okay, wait. I'm gonna stop. Wait. Okay, brunch breakers. We're gonna stop and we're gonna come back and finish this conversation next week. Because what? I forgot. Derek gets really real, and especially we've sat and had so many conversations about dating and stuff like that. So it's gonna get real. Come back and play with us next week. Okay, you guys say bye, y'all, for next week. Bye.
Bye.